and it fluctuates because there are semester classes that are ending their finals, but all classes are giving some sort of midterm exam. So the kids will have a fourth period, it'll take them right up to 220. And I'm gonna make an announcement to all the parents, both email and through the phone. I've just been waiting because if we have another snow day or delay, you know, it would.
That changes, yeah.
It would confuse people.
Sure. Less confusion, the better.
And that, Madam Chair, other than that, things are running smoothly, and we're just getting ready for the changeover in semester 2. I have had a number of new students, as I told this board before, come in and register from other schools. I think I'm up to now 6 or 7 from other school districts. I'll keep you informed as we go on.
Okay. Great, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Parsons? Okay. Committee meetings will resume those February 20th. And we had 2 school boards last month, so nothing to report out. 2 school boards this month,
Yeah,
right?
we may have to do 2 school boards February 20th. It gets a little funky with the turnover of, if we have new board members coming in March, just who's on the committees, who's gonna chair, and we have to reorganize at the same time. So sometimes we do double up on board meetings January, February, and then have that first, or even in March, because that first meeting is to have as a committee meeting would be, we have, I think, 4 or 5 seats up this year, so it would be a little awkward to have it then. So a full board meeting, and then in April, we typically reorganize the committee.
Okay.
And you kind of get, whoever the chair is typically gets, you just ask for interest in either committee, and then we go from there.
Okay, and we have seats up in Campton, Thornton, just for the TV.
One seat in Holderness, 1 seat in Plymouth, 1 seat, I'll have it off the top, I just was looking at the whole, out of all 47 board members. 1 Campton seat, because Betsy's was a 1 year,
Right.
and 1 Thornton.
Christie, yep, Thornton, right?
Ashland, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
And Plymouth.
1 in Plymouth.
Okay. All right, great. And discussion items, Principal Search Committee, Dana and Pam, which Pam is
So
on her
Pam,
way.
because we had to reschedule, she has a Waterville board meeting, so she's either en route or still in the meeting, not in the, they're still out there. So just a little bit, we have gone over this a bunch kind of through the fall. I just wanted Dana to report out. Dana and Pam ran the search the entire time, so I just kind of wanted them to talk about what it looked like, what the process was before we go into non-public for a nomination, but just the general process. I mean, we've had it posted. We extended the timeline, as you know, for the applications to come in, and then we've adjusted the timeline a little bit here as well. So, Dana?
Sure. So just to start, as Kyle mentioned, Pam can't make it. She texted me and said she was tied up at another meeting. So what we basically did to start was conducted a survey. So we created a community survey that went out, and I'd say we got about 140, 150 responses. So I thought that was a pretty good response. Some of the things that we took in for information on that was we wanted to know, like, what are the most important qualities of a high school principal. So we got things that as you can imagine what you would think, strong leadership skills, effective communication skills, someone who's collaborative and inclusive, and student-centered. Those are some of those things. What kind of experience would you like the new principal to have? So things like experience in conflict resolution, teaching experience, high school experience, and some. And then we had a few other questions, but mostly like some of the answers that we were getting from the community was, an effective communicator, someone with strong leadership skills and that had some experience and student-centered approach came through. So we used that to kind of help guide our search. So we had, the posting went out in October, went until, I think our plan was for it to go out for a little over a month. We ended up extending that because we didn't, the first round, we didn't get as many qualified candidates as we had hoped for. So we extended that into December. And then we started, we got some more qualified candidates. We felt comfortable going forward at that point. So we had our first round, which happened about mid-December, with a kind of a diverse group. We had, let me see, I don't want to say everybody. I'm going to miss some people if I do that for sure. But so we had myself and Pam from the SAU. We had we had 3 board members who were there the entire time. We had 2 staff members from the high school, teaching staff, members of the collective bargaining unit. We had a student rep, and hopefully I don't miss anybody, but that was our first round. The second round, we had the high school administrative team. So we interviewed our candidates for the first round with the larger group. They brought forward 2 candidates to meet with the administrative team. The administrative team did another round of interviews. Which
Just
was
the high school administrative team.
high school administrative team.
Not me.
No, not, no.
And that was more scenario-based, as I thought that was kind of a different approach. It was more like we ran through different scenarios, a little bit more in depth, I would say. And then we brought 1 candidate forward out of that group, and that candidate came to the SAU for a final round. And then tonight we'll be talking about that in non-public. So, yeah, I thought it was a thorough process. We really wanted to stress confidentiality for the process to make sure we were respectful of the candidates. We wanted everybody to share their thoughts, and probably the most important thing was we wanted it to be a unanimous choice going forward. So if we're going to bring from one committee, one interview group to the next interview group, we wanted it to be a unanimous, like, this is who we want to bring forward, and we were able to have that. So, and I will say the candidate that we're going to talk about tonight was the unanimous top choice in each of the interviews.
Any input from, I know Phil and Paul, Greg is on here.
Phil?
My past experience, I've done many searches, and the work that Pam and Dana did was exemplary. Paid attention to detail, materials were readily available, well organized, and the dynamic of the committee was extremely positive. I mean, people were open. I was very proud of the work that you and Pam did. It was excellent, and I think any candidate that came in would have felt good about the school because of the process. So for what that's, nice job.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Everybody did a fantastic job. I think the diversity of the committee was fantastic. The questions were wonderful, you guys put together, and we brought in some good candidates, and it was just a great process. Like being part of other ones in the past, not necessarily here. This year was by far the best. Thanks.
Great, thank you for sharing.
Anything else, Dana?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyone has questions?
And then, do you want to go, that's it for any other questions on the process?
Yeah. All right, great. So the calendar, are we voting on that tonight? It's
I would-
been in draft for a while.
Yeah, I would ask for a vote tonight because we typically use yours as a model to distribute to the elementary schools. So if there are siblings in
one?
the elementary schools, there's some
Take
continuity,
this one, just in case.
some.
Take this one.
Okay, great. And it's
Take
very
this one.
similar to what, oh, okay.
That's the one.
Very similar to,
Use this one.
oh, you were gonna iron out the in-service day, Bruce,
Yeah, I'll
is
let
that?
Janet speak to that if she
Okay.
wants
Yeah, so we did. It was the October date. We had it
Oh, yes.
repeating on the 10th because it was previously. We're actually going to go with the Friday, the 11th, which is the Friday before the long weekend. It's pretty consistent across the state, so it also, I took into consideration what other high schools are doing, and so if there's ever a need to collaborate or to pool some resources in terms of professional development, or for the principals to get together when buildings are doing something. So that's a pretty consistent PD date across the state. The other teacher and service day is again in January. It currently floats between the semesters. So it is subject to change, but that's the prediction right now, which is the Tuesday after MLK weekend. So the kids will get a long weekend there as well.
Just for point of information, this does not include delayed openings. And we worked that out with the union, so, when we picked delayed openings. But these are the days that the kids will be in school.
Okay. Any questions? No? Okay,
I just
Paul?
have a comment. I still think you should work the Friday before Labor Day.
Thank you, sir.
Let the record show.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so who would like to? What,
I'll make a
Paul?
motion to move forward the 24-25 school calendar.
Great, seconded by Phil. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Great, all right, so other business? We have other business?
No other business.
All right, privilege of the floor. Come on
I
up.
have two questions. Sarah Terrell, Plymouth. First question, assuming the offer you make this evening is accepted, how will that be announced to the community?
We will, in the process, there's a press release, and if it's voted on tonight, I would do it as soon as tomorrow, and then move from there. So we would get it in the paper, on the website. It's, you know, the Record Enterprise, I don't know how many folks get that, but hopefully more
Yeah,
than not.
Until next Thursday, so if it's
yeah.
on the website at least.
You can put it on the bulletin, wherever, whatever public media we have, we can move forward, as soon as it's approved.
Okay. And my second question, I already voted, so maybe not for this year, but could we potentially in the future consider changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples' Day on the calendar? I know the town had a request to change that last year, and they did so. So just curious
Easy,
if we
yeah,
could maybe
that's a good
take
suggestion.
that under consideration. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Okay, good. All right, board member concerns, anything? Anybody?
Nope.
Everybody's good, okay. So a motion now to go into non-public. Peter, you want to say what for? Did you catch?
Personal nomination
And negotiation.
and negotiation.
Okay, roll call. Peter, Bill,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Sam. Great, thank you.
I have a couple things first.
07 to
10.
21.
14, 15. Okay, good, thanks.
Yeah, I could do it on the birth year of the kids.
All right, great, so coming out of non-public, first we would like to recognize that Lena will be well, would someone like to make that motion? Let's start with that, with
To
the Lena.
accept the resignation of Lena McLean from the National Technical Honor Society.
Peter, would you like to make that? And with regret, we would like to. So Peter, seconded by Phil, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed by Phil, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, great. And then we'd like to move Julia O'Brien and Kyle Reed into the National Technical Honor Society as two
Co-advisors.
Co-advisors,
Correct.
great. Okay, who would like to make that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Bonnie, seconded by
I'll second.
Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, great. And then, with regret, the resignation of Paul Borsch,
Borsch at the
Borsch,
end
correct.
of
As
the
the-
23-24 school year with regret.
special ed director.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, who would like to make that?
I'll make the motion.
Bonnie, seconded by, all right, Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Great, we had an update on sick bank, but that's not anything we're
Yep.
going to be voting on. Great. And then, who would like to make this last, well, first, you want me to talk about that first, or after?
Yeah, just say you have a nomination
Okay,
for the principal.
so we have a nomination for the new principal of the high school, Janet Eccleston, who has been here with us at the high school as assistant to the principal for a year now and done a great job. She comes to us before from Campton Elementary, where you were there for 15 years. Was that vice or assistant? That was
Teacher, coordinator, and director of student services.
great, okay, for 15 years. The committee worked really hard. We appreciate all their work. We'd like to recognize the committee that was under yours and Pam's direction, which was great work. We appreciate that. The references and Janet's letter, we're very excited to have you and have your work in the building. We'd like to welcome you aboard and would like to make that nomination to hire Janet Eccleston as the new president.
Principal.
Principal of Plymouth Regional High School, yes.
I'd make that motion.
Seconded by Paul, committee members, great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining? Great, and this will be as of the fall.
Congratulations, Janet. I will send out a press release at some point tomorrow, and then we'll put that out to the Record Enterprise or on the websites as well, and we'll send a message out to faculty tomorrow.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah,
Okay,
around that
great.
piece. Okay?
Great, awesome. Good. Do
That's
you want to
it.
say anything, or you're all?
No.
You're good, you're ready to work hard. And then last, we just want to welcome Dan for live coverage with Pemi Baker TV. We appreciate your coverage of our meetings being live from this point forward, so thank you again. And a motion to adjourn made by
I'll make the motion.
Peter, seconded by Bonnie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
We are? I'll take them back, yes. Thank you.
We're good.